So today we're going to learn about blending techniques. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do wet brush technique up here and dry brush blending down here. And what I've brought along to show you is some of my Year 11's work. And you can use a mixture of dry and wet brush blending techniques in real painting. This here is dry brush technique and it looks quite fluffy. Okay, it's where the paint has been dried off, devoid of paint, and then it's rubbed on a very small amount of paint. Over here you can see some wet brush blending here. It's where the paint is wet as it's blended, and you can see some dry brush blending here. So those are the two techniques of blending paint, and I'm going to show them to you today and you're going to give it a go. We're going to be using our secondary colours. Hands up what our secondary colours are. Yes.
Purple, green and orange.
Perfect. That's right. So at the top we've got our wet brush technique. So you need to mix up, the first box is purple. So you mix it up. And wet means it's all wet. I was expecting a few bubbles there. And now at this end we need to do a shade. What colour are our shadows?
Black.
Cool. So I need to put some black in that end. And then I need to mix on my palette black mixed with purple. And that's going to go in here between my pure black and my purple. And now while it's still wet I take the paint off my brush. And what I do is I just rub it together while all the paint is still very wet and shiny. Okay. Now a tint is the opposite of black. It's all light. What colour would that be?
White.
Cool beans, you got it. So I paint that end white. And then what am I going to do to mix a middle colour with purple? White and purple, very good. Pop that in here. I have to work quite quickly because it's warm in this room. And what will happen is the paint will dry on me and it won't be wet blending anymore, it will be dry blending. So while it's still wet, rubbing it together. Take all the paint off my brush and rub all the wet paint together. Cool. So I've got normal purple, black, white, and then a light purple and a middle purple, and while it's all wet I blend it together. I would do the same with green and the same with orange. Now the reason these were painted beforehand is this is dry brush technique, so what I have done already is put my base colours down, and then the blending technique we're going to use is you get your white, which is your tint or shade. Yep. So I have the paint on, then I kind of rub it dry and I rub it over the top of my painted colour, and what I might mix is a light orange, and I'm rubbing, and that creates that fluffy look, this rubbing technique. See how that one doesn't look very fluffy and this one looks quite fluffy. Fluffy fluffness. Quite good for painting things like rocks. Clouds are really good to use a dry brush technique. Happy clouds. So what is black? Is it my shade or tint?
Shade.
Awesome. And I've just finished demonstrating this. Oh, I've done an awful job of mixing this because it's dried off in this warm room. Oh, it's gone brown. Hopeless. Here we go. And put that on. And dry it off and fluffy rubbing. That's it. Any questions?
Oh, it looks great.
Awesome. Thank you. Round of applause.